Now, look, Lee, allies of Boris Johnson in the Conservative Democratic organisation have called for the next party chairman to be elected by members. And were that to happen, I'm sure there's many members who would love to see your name on the ballot, Lee Anderson. Would you be interested in a role like Tory chairman?
Well, look, listen, I'm not going to sit here like one of those politicians and say, I don't want a promotion, it's not for me, blah, blah, blah. Of course I would be. I mean, it'd be a great honour, considering where I've come from. I've come from a Labour Party background, been a Labour councillor, worked for a Labour MP, and now I'm a Conservative Member of Parliament. My story is, I mean, I like my own story. I'm a working-class Tory. One of the 5 million that voted Conservative for the very first time, because we put our faith in Boris and the party. And I think some of our membership actually do like me, but I think the country needs reminding and my party needs reminding on what a working-class Tory is, and I represent that, but I've got no chance.
Well, that's sad.
Sad.
That's sad to me because it shows that the party is out of touch with the people who it desperately needs to be voting.
It's not just our party, it's all parties are out of touch with the electorate and the membership. That's just politics, Dan.
Well, hopefully that can change. Finally, Lee, your old buddy, the anti-Brexit rabble-rouser, Steve Bray, was at his odious worst earlier on when he delivered his trademark heckle. This was during a BBC debate. But let me tell you, those BBC bouncers are not to be messed with. Look.
Steve, it's very nice. Steve, it's nice of you to come and join us, but for those of you listening at home, Steve Bray is down.
So, Lee, at last the BBC stick up for Brexit, but through their security guards.
Well, look, I mean, it's this type of behaviour from the BBC that's encouraging me to buy a TV licence again and renege on my promise to rip it up. But look, this man, we know this creature. He wanders around Whitehall on a regular basis, quite clearly unhinged. I think what he does need is a prolonged heavy dose of medication and a good straitjacket. I think that'll sort him out.
Do you still want to challenge him to a
I've challenged him to a 3-round boxing match. Obviously, the weight division he's in, by looking at that clip there, looks like he's in the overweight division. So I think I could take him out in 3. I might just toy him for a few rounds, but he's quite clearly unhinged. I don't know what medication he's on. I know he drinks a lot, but he's a public nuisance.
I was speaking to some folk who were at that event last night, Lee. Of course, the BBC, even though they had to get rid of Bray, had stacked the audience with Ramonas. Yeah,
well, of course, that's what they do. It's so biased, Dan. You know that. I mean, this is one of the reasons that I love GBNews, because, it doesn't matter what your politics are, you've got a platform here. You've got all sorts of people on here. You've even got ex-Labour MPs presenting business shows on it. And the great Jacob Rees-Mogg, I believe, is going on very,
He's on his way.
He's a gentleman. But, the BBC, it's not anti-Beeb, it's anti-British.
No, it is. I totally agree with that. I can reveal Jacob Rees-Mogg having a look around the studio earlier. So it's coming. It's coming, folks. Jacob,
you have to put your tie on when Jacob comes in,
I know, he wasn't impressed. So are you. Lee Anderson, The Real World. Thank you so much, Lee.